through the picture.
Hey, here we are. It must be Monday. There it is. Rockin' Robbie and our buddy John, who was almost not going to be here, but his Valentine's Day gift to his wife is being here. So that was the gift that they agreed upon. So John was like, I got to take her to dinner, but then I guess John's wife said, no. You want to give me a gift? Go do your live stream at Dynamite. So
that's very nice. Apparently Nick wanted me to have this.
Yeah, so. Absolutely not. So large man, 1 pint in, attaboy. JD Berry, Ronald. Hey, Ronald, I thought for sure tonight you would be taking your wife out to dinner.
Yeah, I thought I'd be taking my wife out to dinner too.
So you're all here. 62 Lefty, what's going on, station brother? So we had a wild Super Bowl Sunday with a wild halftime show. But it was Dwayne's a pain. What's going on, buddy? Yeah, I don't know. John, any taco truck update there?
Snow. You do know food trucks don't run 12 months a year in New Jersey, right?
I did not know that.
I feel like a kid telling you about Santa.
I did not know that.
Food trucks have about a 160, 180-day season in New Jersey. This ain't the season.
I suspect that I will have to look that up because I'm not taking John's word for it. But so the Rams are the winner, and we were talking about that for a little bit before the stream. So congratulations to the Rams. Yeah. But I think it would have been a feel-good win either way.
They continue to make football still look real. And and I think that's very cool. I mean, I understand there's people out there that, they think, it's still real to me, damn it. Okay.
And the man who's the fan of professional wrestling
says football's how unreal. I know it's predetermined.
Oh, so Ronald got lucky. She's afraid of COVID. So you guys don't go out of restaurants. But I would figure, you would have been in contact with John and had a 4-course meal ready for your wife, ready to go.
Gotta do something, right?
My suggestion to Ron is don't serve her spam tonight.
My wife's not eating spam right now. That's all she. No, I'll tell you a very quick story. I wasn't going to be here tonight. I was going to take my wife out. This is just one of the problems that the restaurant industry is having. So anybody watching this, I would suggest be more patient and polite than I was. I called the restaurant. I was supposed to have 6 o'clock reservations. I called earlier in the afternoon to confirm them. They didn't have any record of it. I made the reservations on one of the apps, and I guess they had some kind of internal migration from one system to another, and a bunch of their reservations were lost. One of them was mine. So my wife is sitting home with a cheesesteak I made her.
I like cheesesteaks.
But I did not handle it as well as I should have. So if this happens to any of you, be nicer about it than I was. I was super fortunate. A cop buddy was sitting at the bar of their restaurant. So
John flew off the handle, and they were going to call the po-po.
They were going to call the cops.
They were getting ready.
I was being loud. I was being a Chad, and they said, hey, we're calling the cops. I said, they're right at the bar.
So Kyle says he cooked his entire superb owl party in the air fryer.
Nice.
Okay, so and that would be the Emerald Lagasse. I missed the infomercial this weekend. There was so much sports on. So I've been watching a little bit of Winter Olympics as well. A little bit of controversy there going on.
Still,
isn't there always though? I mean, seriously, every Olympics it seems like there's an issue. Somebody pops hot for a drug or whatever, or there's some scam with a judge or something. I mean, right now, if you have the Peacock app, their biggest thing is how the Canadians got swerved by some evil French woman during the Salt Lake City games. And I'm like,
well, they got a lot of programming to fill, and they're not physically there. So I give NBC some credit. That's a lot of.
Kyle is exactly right. What Kyle said. Subjective scoring is the devil. I mean, I think Kyle has too, but I've judged a lot of food competitions, and it's very sort of it's difficult. I like something you don't.
I had a saying. I had a colleague that I work with. So
Ronald,
I used that excuse a few years ago, and my wife gave me a kick.
I got to say, any married man not wearing a cup in the presence of his wife, that's on you.
Well, no, especially if you plan to tell her you're not taking her out to dinner.
If you're married to a woman, they are the deadlier of the species by far. So
yeah, without a doubt. So Lars, man, thank you all for recommending Peacemaker. That show was epic.
Yes,
agreed. And we are working on trying to get our best, our favorite art creator for sketch cover art. Ken Hazer. We are trying to obtain Peacemaker-related sketch cover art. Don't know when it's going to be there, but keep an eye out for it. As soon as we can get it in here, we'll definitely have it on the show.
And we've talked about this before about when to buy and not buy stuff. Right now, I've spoken to 2 different LCS people just here in Southern New Jersey. Not that there's a ton of them. All the Peacemaker stuff is absolutely disappearing from, the kind of DC Charlton merging area.
Right.
You know what I mean? People are kind of very they're aware of it now, right? I had people. One of the dealers told me one of his people took a phone call about Charlton Comics, and at her age, she didn't know what the person was talking about, and he had to sit down and educate her on the whole Charlton thing, Peacemaker, whatever. People are, Peacemaker comics that were basically being used for pastiche tables and stuff like that,
right,
are now $30 and $35.
It's we talked about it with Guardians of the Galaxy. So by the time it starts hitting and people start snapping those books up, the price only goes up. And let's see, Kyle says we would have John Cena on the air.
You know what? We should have done an empty seat, and you would have said, "I'm here tonight with John Cena."
How cool would that have been?
Still can. We can see the chair next to you. So there he is, right there.
Nice.
All right. So let's start off with what we always start off with, which is the Dynamite 10-pack reader set. 10 random Dynamite titles with a cover price of $3.99 or higher. So it's adjusted retail of $40 or higher. As always, we have it for $5, 50 cents a title, an issue. You can't really get any lower than that. Let me see. Dwayne Zapane says pre the Suicide Squad prices were a steal. That's the thing. That's an element that maybe didn't exist many years ago. Was you didn't have TV and movies kind of pulling the spec prices up, and not everything's obviously going to be a success, but clearly Peacemaker has been a hit. I don't know anybody that's watched an episode that didn't like it, or
they didn't watch the rest of it. Here's a little bit of Inception, exactly what you're talking about, right? Marvel decided to do What If, and they decided, based on the popularity of the character in the TV show, they made Peggy Carter and Agent Carter Captain Carter, right? From the success of the cartoon, the Captain Carter comic, I don't know if it's this Wednesday, but Captain Carter #1 comes out really soon. Because of one frame during the Super Bowl commercial,
right,
most of the LCS dealers already are pre-sold out of Captain Carter #1. You know why? Because when the preview was showing Doctor Strange doing all the multiverse stuff, there's Supreme Strange, this and that. There's a panel where one of the characters breaks through with a shield, and if you look at it real quick, it's a red, white, and blue shield. You think it's Captain America's. If you look at it real carefully and freeze the frame, it's Captain Carter's shield.
You see, it's so good or bad, whether you agree or disagree. The future indicates that these two things are always going to be tied. Okay. The movies and the TV series that come out, and then the titles that come out, and now who comes first, the chicken or the egg? Yeah. I don't think it really matters anymore. With as John's example points out, is now you're dealing with Captain Carter, which came out of the What If series. So now it's flowing both ways, which
goes back and forth from TV to movies to comic. Agent Carter was broadcast television. And then all of a sudden, she started a movie, then she went to broadcast television, then she went to subscription service animated series. Now she's in print. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if somebody wants to check the date. Captain Carter #1 comes out really soon. I saw the ad for it.
Right.
And now from the comic, it's looking like she'll be back in a live action movie. And I can't imagine anyone, if they're going to include Captain Carter, I can't imagine it's anyone other than Haley Atwell.
Well, Stevie says, my canary told me years ago, Peacemaker would be a hit when I used to line his birdcage with Peacemaker comics.
You know what Stevie's not, man, there's a ton of books from that era that they could not give away.
Yep.
Guys, dealers were sometimes just shoving them in pull boxes. Nobody cared about Charlton characters. Charlton characters had one brief blip on the heart monitor, and that was when Watchmen came out. Because pretty quickly people realized Watchmen were supposed to be Charlton comics, and at the last minute, supposedly, DC pulled the rug out from Alan Moore,
right?
And when he had to kind of recreate only versions of these characters. Now, I guess by any metric, you would say the Watchmen is more successful than the Charlton characters they're based on,
right?
But now we've come full circle again. And let's be honest, Watchmen, the movie had mixed reactions. I particularly liked it. A lot of people did.
I did too.
And then the HBO Watchmen thing, for me, that's too far off the source material for really to get into. You know what I mean? It was a cool superhero thing, but for me to connect that with Watchmen was hard.
Well, it worked. I like how the show worked, at least as kind of like a sequel. So even then, like the original stuff stood on its own. I loved Ozzy in that show. And then on the What Ifs thing, real quick, Captain Carter was first introduced in the most recent Exiles series. So that's where they got that. They pulled that from that. And so you're also got in that Doctor Strange trailer, it looks like we're going to get the Illuminati. So that's another cool one that's probably going to start going up. First appearance of the Illuminati, Xavier and Iron Man and Reed Richards, but that's 100% Patrick Stewart's voice.
Oh, right? Yeah, you're getting Patrick Stewart in it. The whole setup, the way you have Doctor Strange sort of looking, anyone who's read any of the sort of Illuminati comics or whatever, they have the room where there's sort of kind of austere seating. They did a great job with almost no set design of letting fans know. It's like the Illuminati meeting chamber. And then, of course, there's Patrick Stewart's voice. Right. Clearly, they wouldn't have him do anything else in the MCU other than Professor X. That'd be, sort of a waste. Yeah. I think this is probably, Dwayne Zappain is exactly right. This is like a nice way to introduce Namor.
Right.
People are wondering because they want to do a Namor project.
There you go.
Yeah, you got Namor. Reed Richards potentially could be involved in the, they'll have their own version of the Illuminati, but it will probably be kind of based on, what was in the original. So you got Namor, you got Reed, you got Xavier. You might
even get a different Black Panther.
We may even get a different Iron Man. This may be where, if the rumors are true, the Tom Cruise Iron Man sequence.
Yeah, everybody's convinced after. Yeah.
Well, there's very few actors that could pull off after Robert Downey Jr.'s performance. There's only a couple actors that can pull off being Tony Stark. And whether you love or hate Tom Cruise, he absolutely could pull off being
I'm
Tony
not
Stark.
sure. I mean, Stevie B, absolutely, my friend.
Oh, yeah. Let's,
all right, so first best offer book, Secret Wars #1, Dynamic Forces edition, signed by original and classic artist Mike Zeck. That's going to be one of our best offer books starting at $1. Oh,
wow.
So, let's see.
Mike Zeck signature for only $1?
Well, starting at $1, it's best offer. So anybody that's joining us that is new, we have two types of claims on the show. One is a buy it now claim. We'll throw out a price, and the first person to claim it on the chats walks away with it. And then we'll have best offer of the night. So we'll throw a starting price out there, and whoever has the best offer at $7.55 this evening will walk away from that. And then, John, if you'd be so nice as to do Vanna White for us.
I absolutely will. Well, this one's mine. You have a copy that we can give away.
Boy, I tell you, he just hears what he wants to hear. All right, Lars, man, I got you, buddy. You are in for 10. All right. On the Secret Wars.
Let me know when I'm kind of good here.
All right. So that is Vampirella #25, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle homage. Metal cover, as you can see from the reflection off the metal. We're going to do just a giveaway today at the end of the show. After we do best offers, we're just going to draw a name out of the hat, and we're going to give this away to whoever the winner is. And then we always do stay right there, John. We always do a drawing, and this will be based on whoever contributed to the chat boards on Robbie's show on Friday. And this is probably the last coin set.
Be a little bit tougher to get in, but I'll do my best to sort of.
But that might be, and JD might have an image of that as well that he'll be able to throw up. But is the so now that's been discounted from free to we'll pay you $10 because John keeps dropping stuff.
You can give me $5 and I'll take it right now.
Sure, John. So it's a 4-coin set, Vampirella, colorized coin on genuine U.S. legal tender. So that will be the giveaway, and you'll get your certificate of authenticity with each one of the coins. And that will be the drawing for anybody that contributed to the chat on Robbie's show on Friday. All right, so got all that logistical stuff out of the way. Let's do our next.
I can't imagine the horror watching the show and seeing me get like a foot from the camera. They must be like, "Oh man,
look away, children, look away."
Happy Valentine's Day.
All right, let's do our next best offer book, Batman 3 Jokers #1, premium cover A, Red Hood variant, signed by Jeff Johns. Suggested retail of $88. This is also a best offer book starting at $1. Feeling very RoboCop right now. I'll buy that for $1. So, all right.
That's a great cover.
There you go. Thank you, JD. All right. So let's see here. Yep. Okay. So,
and who was it? Was it
3 Jokers? All right, $10. Yes, I got him down for that.
No, but he just said something about HBO being almost sort of like the DC version of Disney Plus. And I think HBO Max is a great platform for sort of those more. Yeah, it was Lars Man. Yeah, I think Gwenpool. I think something Deadpool could be related. I don't know if, again, there starts a little bit of a push-pull with studios or whatever. I think Gwenpool. I actually think anything Gwen Vereen, the Spectacular Spider-Gwen, whatever incarnation you want to go with there, I think works really well for Disney Plus. Somebody told me they heard a rumor about Hulu. I can't imagine Disney giving something that good to a secondary channel as opposed to Disney Plus.
Well, they didn't really push those shows they did, right? Because they did the Cloak and Dagger show and they did Runaways, and Marvel kind of didn't really, market those too well on the comic book side of things. And then they had that whole New Warrior show that they never released. Like they filmed a bunch of it and then they never released it. Probably for the best.
It went straight to the recycle bin, which was amazing to me. Like, how much did they spend?
I know.
Paid out contracts. I mean, if you don't release it, I still get paid.
Yeah, but sometimes the cost of distribution is, just
that's a good point.
So Dwayne's a Pain says Howard the Duck would be amazing.
Absolutely.
Howard
the Duck would be amazing.
And
again, I think we're sort of looking at the top 2 comic companies owned by 2 multimedia giants, and they're sort of strip mining all their content, all their properties for content. I mean, we've talked about this before. Disney Plus, everybody's got to fill up a lot of time. Netflix is getting hammered right now because too much of their content is stuff people don't watch.
Well, I mean, they should have I know they did see it coming, and I realized that they attempted to try to go with original programming Netflix, trying to prevent this kind of from happening. But the problem was they didn't start off with the portfolio of IPs that they needed to.
Yeah.
And
did you see that they had that Super Bowl commercial? So they're really trying to push this idea that they have new movies every week now, right? So now they're trying to push into the movie thing because they've lost their show audience. And I think the biggest problem is you got shows like Stranger Things and Umbrella Academy, which I love, but they don't come out regularly.
They're too slow with the stuff that people want to watch.
Yeah.
I made a
list.
the
question, and here's the other question.
I can't keep Netflix for a year for Cobra Kai and the bread baking thing, the cake baking thing from the UK. Well, it's just,
here's the question. I mean, do we think that perhaps the way that Netflix does the binge format as opposed to the weekly episode format, that's had, I kind of feel like that hurts things, because if you binge things and then it doesn't, season 2 doesn't come out for like over a year.
Yeah, we'll be back in 14
I'm over it, right?
Yeah. Whereas is right here too. Netflix cancels shows after 1 season.
That's
they
true.
cancel shows I really, really like. They think October.
Legacy. They just killed Cowboy Bebop like 2 weeks after it released.
Yeah,
like most people didn't even make the time yet to watch it, so you don't.
I've watched several episodes, and I really kind of of enjoyed it. I mean, it was a little, a little tongue in cheek, but I liked it.
They missed the water cooler talk. Do you get what I'm saying? They missed that water cooler talk where each week people come in and they go, "Did you see what happened in the latest episode of Loki?" But me and my homies, we do shows about these things. Yeah, like we'll do we're going to talk about this episode this week. But now it's like, hey, Cobra Kai, it hit. We all talked about it. It's out of the zeitgeist right now.
No, exactly. What you're saying and what JD's saying is exactly right. And I really didn't notice it before. I think maybe because the transition has just sort of happened where, I feel like Netflix has, obviously lost a lot of their important IPs. But beyond that, I wasn't, because of the pandemic and COVID, I wasn't really talking to a lot of people about this. I have one friend that I talk to about this stuff, and we're calling each other. But now that we're talking about it on the show, and I'm talking about it on your show and Alex's show, I begin to realize that, by releasing it all at once, it forcing us, we're not forcing, but allowing us to binge it all at once. Once it's over, I got nothing left to talk about. And your marketing window begins to shrink, because I think one of the best things is, we're able to talk about it amongst ourselves, but, with your friends and stuff, like, hey, did you just see the last episode of Peacemaker? No, don't tell me. No spoiler. But it's always in the dialogue. So we're talking about it every single week. Even if you didn't like Book of Boba Fett, guess what? We're talking about, people who don't like it are talking about, not liking it, that type of thing. So to me, that's really, it really probably is hurting Netflix, that format. So let's see here. We'll do another best offer book. What do you think? Let me see.
Lars, man, I feel you. I'm thinking at like 13 streams.
I know. I'm starting to lose track of how many.
And
too.
I got it. Well,
I'm sure I'm paying for something I never watched.
Well, one of the things I talk about is everything isn't a 12-month subscription service anymore. Netflix is down to maybe 4 to 5 months a year. You need Netflix to catch up on the stuff you want, and then, like you said, you're out.
I'm gonna have to do some spring cleaning, because I know I got Peacock because of the Summer Olympics, because I wanted to watch softball.
You still have it?
And I still had it. I keep saying every month I'm going to cancel it. But then the Winter Olympics came around. Okay. So I'm like, well, I'll just hold on to it until the Winter Olympics. So I'm making a note, the concerted effort. I am canceling Peacock in the next week as soon as the Winter Olympics is over.
Yeah, they count on you not remembering to cancel, right?
Somebody remind me. All right. After the Olympics are over, somebody on the show remind me.
Rex, cancel Peacock.
Yes. Note to self. So, all right. So we got Jennifer.
Because, right, the experience is better content and free streaming.
So Jennifer who are you joking, dude? It's us.
You know what? I don't mind being the platform that supports the experience. My back is broad enough.
All right.
People
so
are like, who is he again?
Didn't realize you had such a temper, though, getting all hissy fit with Carlucci's. Ooh, did I just name them?
Dude, do that in post. Do not mention that. Oh no.
Oops. My bad.
Here comes a lawsuit.
And nobody, very few of our viewers live here, so it'll be all right. So Jennifer Blood #3, sold out limited edition Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle homage incentive variant cover signed by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $89.99, and we have it starting at $1. It is a best offer book for $1.
Nice.
So let me see. Is that $89.99? Yeah, that's $89.99. So that is another best offer book starting at $1.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of these covers, so this is a steal right here.
Yeah. So, and that might loop us around. John and I've talked a little bit about what you and I were talking about on Friday, in terms of swiping and the other topics. And then John, I know we talked about it Wednesday, but John, the show that you missed, Robbie and I thought we had a brilliant idea, a brand new idea of making a Spam corn dog, only to discover that John has already done this in the past. So John's rather delicious sounding recipe is something we'll discuss after the break.
In all fairness, I want to be super clear here. I first saw the Spam corn dog being done in Hawaii in like the early to mid 90s. I was there a few times, stayed for a few months, worked, tried to, I wanted to stay in Hawaii, but it was just too expensive and too far away from everything. But they've been doing it there. So my guess is they've been, I have no idea how long they've been doing it. Just breading it, deep frying it. Eventually somebody put it on a stick.
Robbie and I thought we were so original that day on Monday when we came up with that. We're like, wow, what a great concept.
I didn't think I was like super original. I think you were more excited, but I'm just excited about the idea, And I would do like a jalapeno
Robbie just
corn
pushed
batter.
me under the bus like that.
Oh, what's the statue?
We'll do the statue after we get back from break.
Cool.
All right. So
I just say that because it's 6:30.
Thank you. All right. So, JD Berry's in at Jennifer Blood at 5. I got you, JD. Let me write that down. And then we're going to go to our first break. and we'll be back in a few minutes. So stay with us.
Imagine being at a convention and going to an interview panel that's just for you. No bustling crowds, no hours-long lines, just you, the moderator, and your favorite comic book creators. Well, this is pretty much that. Miss Jen sits down every week with 2 comic book creators for a live stream interview about their latest work, and you can ask them whatever you want. It's Talking Shop, Mondays at 5 Eastern on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com to find a store near you.
Hey, and we're back.
We're back.
All right, so the statue of the night, Women of Dynamite, Deja Thoris, J. Scott Campbell inspired diorama bronze edition.
Oh.
All right, so that has a suggested retail of $299.99. This is a best offer item starting at $50 tonight. And that, believe it or not, takes care of all of our best offer items.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Let me just make sure I didn't miss something.
It's a dope statue.
Yeah, that one. I pulled the bronze one. I think we've had the other one before, but not the bronze one.
I have to tell you, even though she's not my favorite Dynamite character, Deja Thoris has a special place in my heart because of her lengthy pulp career. This statue is just crazy good. I don't care if you get it in bronze. I don't care if you get it in full color. Marcus is in at 50 for this thing.
I see.
Everything about Mars, or everything about Mars, the way it's imagined through John Carter, is just over the top. I guess people would say it's extra today. And Dynamite has sort of really kind of grabbed that. Dwayne's 60 for the statue.
All right, Dwayne, I got you, buddy.
Dynamite has really just kind of went with that vibe of everything. When you're on Mars, everything you see makes your jaw drop. I don't care if it's Deja Thoris herself. I don't care if it's the animals, killer white apes, everything, the technology. I would tell anybody, if you're going to pick up the Dynamite Readers Pack, ask for John Carter or Deja Thoris stuff. And if, Rex can find you, throw it in there. Because I got to tell you, just visually, some of that stuff is crazy good. Stevie B's at 65 on the statue.
Stevie B. All right, gotcha, buddy.
I've been really digging the Deja Thoris, John Carter books too from Dynamite, and I love the characters. I even liked that Disney movie they did, but then also based on the work of J. Scott Campbell, which it can't just be my shop or my town or my state or my region, but everybody loves this dude. This dude is one of the hottest artists and has been since the 90s.
Yeah, he's had a big, long run of success. I mean, I don't know of anyone that doesn't like his work. I don't know of anyone that doesn't at least have some of the books or something he's done. This is a winner, kind of like all the way around. We're currently at 65. I imagine there's going to be some bidding near the end of the 2-minute warning for the clock.
Right.
I imagine there's going to be a lot of bidding for this. Marcus is at 70 for this statue.
All right, Marcus, got you, buddy.
Because you don't just get Deja Thorish, you get the tiger too. That's awesome. How big is that thing?
Hold on, let me see. It is. And unfortunately, it's in centimeters. Hey, Amy.
Centimeters?
I don't know how to do the math on centimeters.
Can you not do the conversion?
All right, Dwayne's a Payne's at 85. Hey, Amy, can you send us the dimensions on the statue when you get a minute?
I'll try. I'm busy.
Okay, well, I guess we'll have to wait for Dave Cerrone to come in and tell us what the dimensions on the statue are.
Well, does anyone know the metric system? Does anyone speak metric system here?
Remember when they tried to push it into the 70s?
Oh my God, I was told that I would not be able to buy a gallon of milk.
There would be very few things that I would protest.
Marcus is at 95.
All right, Marcus, I got you, buddy.
Size.
I got you, buddy.
To
All
give
right.
you guys just a very
Maybe
rough
it's on the outside of the box.
idea.
This is real
the
easy.
box.
So this is real easy. A centimeter is 0.393701 of an inch.
Yeah, but
so,
this is
Rex.
the-
I'm sure
this
you
is the-
can. Rex
It's
can
the
just-
shipper. No, but it's the shipper box. So I'm not sure if the dimensions on there is the size of the shipper box.
I got you.
Lars Man's talking to Alexa for us.
I think we're going to be at like about
Let me see.
I believe we got to be at about 8 inches.
Fortunately, this is not my normal computer, so I can't get in the system to see it.
We're at 110.
All right.
For
So
the-
Dwayne's a
The
Payne.
dimensions don't matter. Everybody's just bidding anyway.
Yeah.
I'll
Pretty
tell
much.
you what the best part of the statue is. And I love the full color statues. Personally, I tend to like for example, I have the Betty Page statue and it's better in black and white because in my mind, all the photos of Betty are in black and white. So it's perfect, right? If you read any of the John Carter stuff, they have the most elaborate sculptures on Mars. This actually looks like one of the things you would see in the comic.
So Stevie B goes, what's the statue made of? Not 14 karat spam, is it?
No.
No, sir. We only
16.
sell 24 karat spam here. Okay. There's no 14 karat spam. The minimum is 18 karat spam.
Certain character statues look better, some colored black and white. This one probably looks better in bronze than it did in full color. And the full color one was beautiful.
Right. I agree.
This bronze one really makes it look like, like a set piece from the John Carter movie or something.
Yeah, kind of a museum-like kind of look to it.
I mean, she's a princess, right? So if you think about it, she actually would have a statue. She's just not, you know what I mean? She's just not a character. She's a princess of Mars.
All right. So since Stevie B was going to the trade station to pick up his daughter, we're going to give him a quick recap in case he missed something. And then we'll go to the next item. So Dynamite 10-pack, you know about that one, Stevie B. $40 retail or higher. We always have it for $5, 50 cents a copy. That's kind of our thank you to all our viewers out there.
Yes, it would, Lars, man. It absolutely would.
So Secret Wars #1, Dynamic Forces edition, signed by original and classic artist Mike Zeck. Suggested retail $49.99. It is one of our best offer books, and Lars Man is currently in the lead at 10. Then we had Batman 3 Jokers #1, premium cover A, Red Hood variant, signed by Jeff Johns. Also a best offer book starting at $1, but Lars Man is currently in the lead on that as well for 10. Then we had Jennifer Blood, #3, sold out limited edition, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle homage incentive variant cover signed by Ken Hazer. And
great cover, man.
JD Berry is currently in the lead at 5. And then, of course, we did the Women of Dynamite, Deja Thorish, J. Scott Campbell inspired diorama bronze edition, suggested retail of $299.99. Dwayne's a Pain is currently in the lead at 110. All right, so that brings you up to speed, Stevie B. All right, so let's see.
Let's do some. You want to do some CCA? We haven't done.
Yeah, let's
those.
do a CCA.
Yeah, I was just
that'd
going
be
to say,
cool.
let's
do it, man. But I got to find it on a sheet first.
I see some good ones. There's even one that looks like it's Ken Hazer doing Rainbow Bright. Is that what that is?
Yes, it is.
There
You
is
want to
a
do that
Rainbow
one?
Bright one up there.
All right, so this
Awesome.
one is a buy it now. So this is Rainbow Bright #1, signed and cover sketch art by Ken Hazer. $89.99. And we're going to do it for $19.84 the year Rainbow Bright first appeared.
That's awesome.
So,
a lot of people that watch this show, maybe you have a partner who was a big Rainbow Bright fan. I never got super into Rainbow Bright, but this is awesome. It does still tickle nostalgia in me to see things like Rainbow Bright. I remember the cereal. The Rainbow Bright cereal was amazing, y'all. If you remember.
When Robbie talks about stuff like that, it makes me really feel old.
No, I remember when we were in college.
No, you're old too.
I am old, but when I was in college, cereal was like the thing. I think I always thought that's where they got the
instant ramen noodles, bro.
Everything had a cereal back in the 80s, and it was always from like it was always from Ralston. Ralston
cereal.
Yeah, Wait, Mr. T. Batman.
Yes, that's right. That's
Gremlins.
right.
I used to love the Gremlin cereal. Yeah, they were most of those were made by Ralston, I think, who eventually they just make dog food now, I think.
Yeah, I think they just make dog food now. Yeah.
All
right. So Stevie B is going to jump to 15 on Secret Wars. All right, Stevie B, I got you down, Bo.
Oh, where's Dave Cerrone? Is he absent?
I don't know. It just it is Valentine's Day. Maybe he has a lady he has to take out to dinner. I mean,
Have you seen his Instagram page? No.
I have not, but apparently you have.
What are y'all's favorite cereals? I'm really curious. Mine's either Cinnamon Toast Crunch or Peanut Butter Crunch. What are y'all?
I would have to say Frosted Flakes, the old kind when they used to put the excessive sugar in it.
Yeah.
And then Captain Crunch.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dwayne's a pain. God, those C-3POs were terrible. That might be the only Star Wars thing I've never liked in my life. That cereal was just.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I mean, when I was little, obviously the only reason that you would buy a particular cereal was the prize in the box. Okay? Yeah. Whatever the prize was, right?
Very close, large man. My favorite.
Blueberry's not bad. Frankenberry's not bad. Count Chocula was another favorite of mine. Fruity Pebbles and Count Chocula are basically the same thing.
That was the one from Fruit Brute was the werewolf. And yeah, my favorite real cereal. I don't count like the adult stuff you got to eat or whatever. Like the real Saturday morning breakfast cereal was Blueberry. I
liked Blueberry. I Cocoa Pebbles. I liked Cocoa Pebbles. I mean,
that's a good one. I like all the monster cereals, right? But back in the day, they changed this. I guess in the early 2000s or something. But they changed the oat-based formula to a corn-based formula. Completely changes the whole thing. Like, cereal was better back in the day because they made them mostly with oats, rice, less corn, and yeah.
I did enjoy. So Marcus says Cocoa Pebbles for the chocolate milk. I did enjoy that, because when you pour the milk will get chocolatey. So that was a good thing about all those cocoa based.
When I was in college, the move was peanut butter Captain Crunch and chocolate milk.
Ooh, peanut butter Captain Crunch.
Yeah, it was peanut butter Captain Crunch and chocolate
Captain
milk.
Crunch was pretty good.
You would
I've
see
done that. That's good.
That was altered under the influence, hitting a 24-hour store looking for chocolate milk.
Yeah, Life cereal would always be in the house because my mom ate it, and I put way too much sugar because it was never pre-sweetened. I was all like, not pre-sweetened enough for me.
I love Life. Life was amazing. Cinnamon Life is my favorite. I love Cinnamon Life.
The problem with Life cereal is though you had to eat it by a certain point, otherwise it got way too soggy in the milk.
That's the same thing with the Pebbles. But you just got to be a cereal expert. Like somebody was asking me this the other day because I love breakfast cereal. It's just one of my things I'm really into. And they were like, I don't like Pebbles because they go, soggy so quick. I was like, yeah, but you got to understand that you got a 30 to 60 second window, right? To like start and finish eating your Pebbles bowl for the maximum crunch effect. If that's what you're after.
No, that's why I never understood people with the massive bowls of cereal, right? I would rather have 3 small bowls of cereal because you kind of get the sweet spot of crunch as opposed to a giant bowl. 2/3 of that bowl is going to be just mush.
So who was it said? Let's see. Hold on. I got to go back there. Somebody said Cookie Crisp was a good one. And I enjoyed Cookie Crisps. There you go, Lars man. But the problem was that I only ever got to buy one box as a kid because my mom took one look at what was in that box. She goes, "That's nothing but cookies."
It's cookies.
And that was essentially the last time my mom would ever.
Well, people used to get the little box of Mr. Chips. where, and this is a real callback, but Mr. Chips were tiny little chocolate chip cookies this big. People would just dump those in a bowl with milk, and they were just straight cookies. They didn't even pretend to be cereal.
You're not even pretending.
Cookie Crisp was just bad cookies. All right, so let's do. Oh, you know what? I love this cover. The Clone Conspiracy #1, signed by Jim Chung. Jimmy Chung's signatures are tough to get. We have one available for $34.99, and that's Clone Conspiracy #1, and it is a buy it now. And I saw this cover and had to pull it.
Jim Chung is an artist which you wish you saw more stuff of.
Right.
To the best of my knowledge, he's not at like a ton of cons or doing a ton of
nobody's at
signing
a
or
ton
anything.
of cons anymore.
No, but I mean, even before the pandemic, it wasn't like, there are certain people, I don't mean this in a negative way. I don't think I've been to a con in my life where Frank Cho wasn't. And I don't mean that in any kind of negative way. The guy is like a con mainstay, right? Jim Chung, I think I've seen legitimately at like one con.
He doesn't even have like a prolific output of work currently.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, and he's a great artist. Now, I think Delato did the cover here, but he does the interior. So it's cool to have the artist sign that. But the cover of this is great too.
So Lars Mann is going to claim the Clone Conspiracy. Gotcha, Lars Mann.
I think he's got some work coming up in the new DC Free Comic Book Day issue. I think Jim Chung does.
All right, so the Clone Conspiracy #1, signed by Jim Chung, is gone. Claimed by our buddy Lars Mann. Gotcha, my friend.
That's amazing. I see why you pull that.
I mean, sometimes it's just real visual. I'm going through the long boxes and I see them like, wow.
Yeah.
If there's a cover that makes me stop and look like, whoa, then I'll usually kind of pull it if I can. And
that's a great cover
on the show.
I always like it when Spider-Man looks dark and menacing.
So JD says, and now we're all old and we all eat organic wheat blasted flaxseed granola clusters with rectum exploder 12.
He's not wrong, man.
I know, dude. It's awful. I've been trying to make a concerted effort to eat more oatmeal, but that hasn't worked out real good.
Well, my wife told me my oatmeal was bad because it was too much cream and sugar and maple syrup and not enough actual oatmeal.
Yeah, what do you got? Like a couple of flakes of oatmeal, like kind of sprinkle it on top?
She said it's not a
like
garnish.
Just a sugar milk slush with a little bit of.
It really is. She's
flakes.
like, you could have put that in a glass, not a bowl.
All right, I think Ron wants to see some more CCA, so let's hit another CCA here.
Is there a Zatanna CCA up there?
I don't see one.
I don't think so. No,
it looks like Psylocke.
It is not a Zatanna. Hold on, let me find it.
Wait, who is that?
I'm sorry, I'm sitting on the wrong side to see this, Ron. We'll find it.
All right, so no, it is not. Okay, so we have the next CCA we have is Uncanny Avengers #1, blank variant, signed with a Captain America cover sketch by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $89.99, and we have it for 5-star for $50. Let me see. Maybe you guys are thinking of
great. I love that it's black and white.
Are you guys thinking of the Mega Set? I don't know what the CCA are.
What's the one right next to the cap? Because it's some woman on the cover. I can't tell what it is though.
Oh, I can't cross this way. There's a big wire blocking.
You want me to now? Look.
Let me see.
Oh, that's a Red Sonja?
Oh, that's not a CCA. That's a Virgin cover. I think. Hold on.
Is that Red Sonja?
Yeah, I think so.
That's Red Sonja.
This is Red Sonja, black, white, and red, #7. Phil Hester Virgin cover. It's just retail of $50. We have it available tonight for $40. So that is not a CCA.
And that's out this week, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
Is it out this week? Ask
Yeah.
John.
It
John knows
is
better
out
than I
this
do.
week. There's
John knows all things
Vampyverse
Dynamite.
6.
Yeah,
I'm
Vampyverse.
sorry.
James
Who is
Bond.
that?
The cover artist is Sway.
Oh, so that's Sway. Okay.
Same prices, but that's not who the cover.
Thank you.
All right. So at this point, let's throw up the Red Sonja,
At this
black,
point,
white, and
let's
red
let
too.
Amy
Number
do the
7.
show. She knows all the stuff anyway.
All right. The Phil Hester version of it. Sorry, Ron. He got put in the same row as I know. The CCAs are always supposed to be on the last
It's
row.
our second lawsuit. In the
I
first
will.
hour.
I will add a couple of CCA just to make that.
Stevie, she didn't steal the shield. She just changed the colors from red, white, and blue.
All right. So this is the Phil Hester cover, Virgin cover.
You sure? We don't need another lawsuit.
That's the problem with Virgin covers, man. Who's going to sue me, Dynamite?
No, Ronald. These are false advertising. He's upset.
That's all right, Ron. To make it up for you, John has volunteered to take your next shot of the taser when your wife decides to tase you.
What?
Ron's like, what?
This is a great
all right,
cover.
so-
Very, very striking graphically. I like it a lot.
It is. So that is also available tonight for $40. Suggested retail of $50. And you know what? Let's just knock out all the Virgin covers.
We will, but I wanted to tell people, you know what the energy is here?
What?
Frank Miller 300.
Ooh, yes.
Look at that cover. That's
see
like
that.
if Sonya just decided to roll up with the Spartans and said, I'm 301, let's go.
All right. So the next one up is James Bond, Himeros number 5, Francesco Francavilla Virgin cover.
Oh,
All right. Suggested retail of $50. And we have this available for $40 tonight. So $10 off if you're watching our show tonight. And then
also on Wednesday.
also on Wednesday. So these
Also
are all
on Wednesday.
coming out on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Vampyverse number 6, Roberto Castro Virgin cover. Suggested retail of $50, and we have it tonight for $40.
Yes, one of the versions of Vampirella is like an Invisible Woman version. I got to tell you.
It's like that invisible graded book.
I think
My
she did
favorite
the
one.
Invisible.
It's my favorite version of Vampire so far, the Invisarella.
Invisarella, yeah, Invisarella is very cool.
So Ron says his wife has moved on from the taser. She has invested in steel-toe boots.
Dude, move out.
So that's like a workout
At
program
this
for
point,
her.
move out. If she's channeling her Doc Martens from the 90s, move out.
All right. And then the final Virgin cover we have Nick's number 4, Grebo Vigilanti Virgin cover, also available for $40 tonight. All right. So these are all New Comic Book Day books. So, and if you're watching the show, they're going to come out with a retail of $50, but we are
Is this
giving
ultraviolet cover?
I don't know.
It kind of has the ultraviolet cover look.
It does.
But maybe
I'm
maybe
not sure. I'm not sure. We'll have to ask Amy. All right. So let's see. What do we want to do next? You know what? Let's do the Wolverine Megamix set. Because I know everybody always wants to see the Megamix set. All right, so it is a Wolverine-based Megamix set. It includes Wolverine number 1, signed and cover sketch art by Ken Hazer. Death of Wolverine number 1, M&M Comics signed by Terry and Rachel Dotson. Logan Legacy number 1, signed by Charles Soule. And Wolverine by Claremont and Miller number 1, CGC 9.6. Suggested retail of $260, and tonight we have the one set available for $149.99.
You said that's the Claremont.
Hey, John, what's up, buddy? Hey,
It's fashionably late, man. Glad to see
yeah,
you.
no worries.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
be late to the party.
we
What's
always
the
discuss
CG?
on people, but the two best deals. I mean, periodically we have great deals, best offers. Sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. The two consistently best deals that we have are the Reader Pack and the Mega Pack.
Yeah.
Because when you look at like sheer value and what you get, some of the Mega Packs we've done are ridiculously good. And then, of course, people have gotten them, and then weeks or months later, the value is even gone higher than what we predicated it on during that particular episode.
Exactly.
What's the Wolverine CGC book again? Did you say that's is it a reprint?
It is. Hold on.
Wolverine number 1, the Claremont book?
Yeah. Wolverine number 1, CGC 9.6. You know what? Let's just. Is it here? Is it here?
So I guess is that like a modern reprint or something with a different cover on it?
Let me pull it.
You just get your hand.
Let's take a look. Okay, this was released in November of 2018
Okay.
Flip over the back. It probably has what you're
with
looking
an Alan Davis cover. Let's see. So
That's cool.
yes, it looks like.
I've never seen that reprint. So that's really cool. I've never seen that.
I remember the original issue itself.
It's an
the
iconic
movie that was
cover,
not so
the
good was based on it, obviously. And the back cover has a letter from Chris Claremont. So this was released November. It reprints Wolverine Limited Series number 1 with an Alan Davis cover. I remember this series.
Oh, that's cool. Alan
Yeah.
Davis, that's a cool artist to do that. That's really
So
awesome.
we have it for 9.6 guaranteed, CGC graded. And this is a really cool
The
set.
favorite
If you
Alan
are a
Davis
Wolverine
thing we
fan.
did was this was a while back, but we had like a cover of the nail.
Hey, wait, you had a what?
the Alan Davis thing we had that was just gorgeous was like a cover of Justice League The Nail, which
I
was
love
like
that
an
book.
Elseworlds thing from like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
And it was probably like a top 2 or 3 book that they did. And Elseworlds did a lot of stuff, some of it not great.
That
Some
book
of
did
the
so
stuff-
well, they did a sequel. They did Another Nail.
Another
And then-
Nail. And
yeah.
I kind of put that up there in the like Gotham by Gaslight, Kingdom Come level of the art is just.
Did
the
they
art
do
and
an
story-
animated film on that?
Did
I
they
don't
do the
remem-
Nail?
I don't remember because I don't know. I stopped watching some of those because so many started coming out, but it seems perfect to do one if they haven't, because that was a really cool story.
That, you know what, I would think with the multiversing of the entire comic book industry, you will probably see DC doing deep dives into some of that 90s stuff. I mean, some of it was not great. Batman is a cowboy, Superman is a knight in armor. I don't know about that, but I could see where when they starting to do animated stuff, Superman's rocket landing on Apocalypse and him being raised on Darkseid, there's a story to be told there. They did Superman Red Son. And I think there's some of these better
So J.D.
stories.
Berry actually answers the question. Yes, animated Gotham by Gaslight. All right.
They do have Gotham by Gaslight, right?
Yeah,
There
they
is
did
an
that
animated-
one. I don't know if they
So-
did the Nail, but that'd be a good one. It'd be cool to see them like visit that in the Flash movie that they're doing. So
All right, so John Spilios just joined us, buddy. So we are going to do a quick recap, all right, since John just joined us. So, all right, as always, Dynamite 10-pack reader set, $40 or higher retail, and we're selling for $5, 50 cents a copy, as we always do. Then,
And remember, if you get one, email Rex and ask him to find you something from Mars, Dija Thoris, John Carter, because it connects. The statue we have tonight is amazing. Mars is just visually very cool.
all right, so then we had a best offer book, Star Wars #1, Dynamic Forces edition, signed by original and classic artist Mike Zeck. And it is a best offer book, and Stevie B is currently in the lead at 15. Then we did Batman 3 Jokers #1, premium cover A, Red Hood variant, signed by Jeff Johns. It is one of our best offer books. Lars Man is currently in the lead at 10. Then we just showed the Wolverine Megamix set. Includes Wolverine #1 signed and cover sketch art by Ken Hazer. Death of Wolverine #1, M&M Comics signed by Terry and Rachel Dodson. Logan Legacy #1 signed by Charles Soule. And Wolverine by Claremont and Miller #1, reprinting the classic Wolverine limited series #1.
You can tell it's weird when we didn't, like, I didn't remember that. Robbie didn't remember that. That's a nice sort of, I don't want to say it's like necessarily a key issue or anything, but that's like a nice thing to have in your collection. I bet a lot of people don't, you know what I mean?
Right. And it's CGC guaranteed 9.6. And then we had Jennifer Blood #3, sold out limited edition Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle homage incentive variant cover signed by Ken Hazer, and it is one of our best offer books. And JD Berry is currently in the lead at 5. Then we had Star Wars or Secret Wars.
Yeah,
it was Secret Wars.
We
I'm
did
sorry.
have something from Secret Wars.
Yes, Secret Wars #1, Dynamic Forces edition, signed by Mike Zeck. And Stevie B is currently in the lead at 15, buddy. So let's see. So Rainbow Bright #1, signed and cover sketch art by Ken Hazer. If it makes you nostalgic, but it's a beautiful piece by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $89.99. We're doing it the first year Rainbow Bright appeared so we're doing it for $19.84.
Well, I think Robbie brought up a good point too.
What's
you
that?
might have someone in your life, even if you're not necessarily Rainbow Bright,
Right.
you might have someone in your life, spouse, sibling, whatever relative, and this really is sort of like a callback for them. Like they'll be glad to have it, even if they're not necessarily like, a hardcore collector or, dealer hitting cons or whatever.
Right.
Certain books just pop up. I have a friend who's bought like 6 or 7 Gold Key comics, hasn't read comics in at least 30 years, but the Gold Key comics takes him back to that, that sort of 1970s era where, you'd find them in supermarkets or you'd find them. Some parts of the country, the first Gold Key comics people saw were like in a barber shop. Barbers would grab them from newsstands like a month later. I remember my dad was getting a haircut and a shave, and that's the first time I saw a Gold Key comic, and I was like, what is this? I mean, they had a very different look and stuff like that. You can never underestimate the power of the nostalgia pull.
Right. Yeah. So, all right. So it's time for our second break. Let's take that break and stay with us. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
They say it, and it's true, that everything is getting faster. You're not getting any younger, and time is the single resource that you can never get back or get any more of. So why walk into your local comic shop blind when you can go in laser focused on the best books on the shelf?
Hi everybody, and welcome to Minute to Skim It. Yeah!
Spend 1 hour with Miss Jen and Bean, and they'll give you rapid-fire reviews of all the new comics hitting stores. Spend less time shopping and more time reading.
This is Provenance of Secrets.
This is The Heathens. I read Wolverine number 17.
Minute to Skim It, every Tuesday at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
And we are back. All right. So what else did we do? We did the did we do this? Did I mention the statue? I did.
Robbie's with us, of course. When we get a chance, someone throw up the link to his channel. We talk about this all the time. Robbie's content over there adds a lot of context to what we talk about. I mean, we tend to throw a lot of stuff out here, this, that, or whatever. Robbie's show sort of breaks it down a little bit, kind of gives you some context, helps you make sense of it all.
How about this? Here's some context. We got a question from Stevie B. Did Rainbow Bright always have a star tat on her cheek, or is that a modern day updating?
They added that with the nose ring, right?
Well, did they give her a nose ring? I'm looking up images right now for you, and it looks like she's always had it. So
I remember the star tat.
Yeah, I think it was more representative of, instead of a star tat, my guess is at the time, it was probably supposed to be more representative of, back then, there was a ton of people doing face painting. You couldn't go anywhere. Every mall, little girls were getting their faces painted. It was always,
Yeah. And you had the whole like cutie mark thing on My Little Pony and
exactly
all that kind
of
thing.
And then Dwayne's a Pain says they call it stardust, I guess, not tats.
For some people out there in the chat that were clowning on Rainbow Bright, there's a lot of information out there.
Yeah, right. So Marcus says her rainbow suggests she does some other drug.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, so, if you take Rainbow Bright and put her in the 90s, that's a whole different. It's a whole different idea of what she looks like a raver.
Like a lithium bright. Oh, no.
So all right. So to finish the recap, only 2 more items. We did Uncanny Avengers #1 blank variant signed with a Captain America cover sketch art by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $89.99. It is our 5-star book at $50. And then finally, We did Women of Dynamite, Deja Thoris, J. Scott Campbell inspired diorama, bronze edition, suggested retail of $299.99, and it is a best offer at $50.
Someone is going to get this. What are we at now? 110, 120 or something?
Dwayne Zapane is in the lead at 110.
Someone is going to pick this thing up for a significant discount. They're going to get it home, and they're going to be like, wow, I can't believe. I mean, the truth is, this is something I would pay full price for.
All right, so let's see.
If I was at a show and they said, here's this really cool bronze Deja Thoris statue for $3, I'd be like, yeah, okay.
Shocker. All right, you know what? Let's finish up the CCAs for the night.
Sure.
We have Unworthy Thor #1, signed and cover sketch art by Erica Hess. Suggested retail of $89.99, and it is another 5-star book at $50.
It almost looks like Thor is a member of Ecstatics from Mike Allred, right?
I was thinking it gives me Allred Ditko kind of vibes. I like it.
Yeah, very cool. I mean, you don't see that sort of take on Thor, and that's neat.
Yeah, so it's something unique. I saw it, and I know we do a lot of Hazer stuff, but I figured we'd throw somebody else out there.
No, this is cool. I mean,
is.
This is not, you don't see Thor with that sort of, I guess JD is saying, constipated look. I'm not. I don't know if that's quite what I'd go with, but
it's hard to say what they serve for meals at Asgard. It looks like there's a lot of protein from the movies.
Yeah, I don't think they know what vegetables are, man. I think it's bowls of fruit and dead animals. And golden apples. That's it.
So, John, I wasn't able to find any Punisher for tonight's show. I guarantee you I will have something. Believe it or not, I checked our inventory. We're really, really light on Punisher, but I'm going to try to find something, dig through the dark caverns of the vault and try to find something for you for Wednesday, my friend.
Real quick, I want to ask, John asked me a question last week, and I just wanted to bounce it back. John, I have read Nick's, and everybody knows I'm a huge fan of Dynamite books. Nick's did not start out as fast out of the gate as I would like. I'm sort of one of these let the books play out. You have to read the whole thing. If a book is like 4 issues, 6 issues, 10 issues, whatever the run is, you can't judge it like in and of just the first issue, right? But if you read the first issue of Nick's, my advice to everyone is stick with it. It's a cool character. I know where the writer's going to go. Sometimes you just have to kind of, and I understand a lot of times people are like, a book is $4 or whatever. Yeah, sure. I mean, everybody has to do what works for comics budget. But I think if you look at it as an overall purchase, let's say it's 6 issues, right? You'll find that it was worth the time. It was worth the inn, as they say. It's worth the time, worth the money. I would also say, having been read as much Dynamite stuff as I have, they get the creators get way more right than wrong with these characters.
So, and for anybody that joined us late this evening, so we're going to do 2 giveaways, 2 drawings tonight. One will be anybody who's entered into the chats tonight. Hey, Jen King, how you doing? And it is the...
Yeah, John, you're right. It did slow. It did start slow. Draculina is another book where my expectations were pretty high because of the DNA of the book. And I don't know if they've quite hit their stride yet. I don't like to be super critical. I think even if you ask the creators, they probably, if you grabbed a single issue and looked at it, you would be like, I don't know if they've gotten to where they want to go yet. Now, let's be honest. We've all read titles where creators, the publisher, everybody tries their best, and it just doesn't connect with the audience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've seen not just Dynamite, but I've seen stuff from Dark Horse and Image, and you would think this is like a no-brainer. This is going to be massive. And for whatever reason, they don't get the elements together, and it just doesn't happen. I'm hoping that Draculina sort of, they sort of managed to, like put it all together. I like the character, the expansion of Vampirello's universe. And I'm not, it's not like I have any like insider information like that, but I have a pretty good idea what, the lateral expansion of Vampirello's universe. And Draculina is part of that. So, looking at Draculina just like this issue and be like, this isn't for me. Fair enough. Maybe it's not for everybody, but I think as part of the fabric of the wider Vampirella universe, yeah, absolutely, that's gonna work.
I jumped into issue number 1 of Draculina without knowing anything about the character, and I actually liked it. But I did the same thing with Nyx, and Nyx is a series I've been loving. Like, it's a book; it's not taking itself very seriously, so it's having fun, but it feels like it's also like respectful of the world that Nyx is a part of. So I've been really liking that one.
So a couple of topics I want to talk about before we get to the end of the show. So one, I'm gonna loop back around to Peacemaker. So a buddy of mine, he's ironically enough, we didn't realize this about each other. We met through my daughter's softball career. He used to be her head coach, and when she was playing showcase softball, trying to get recruited in college. Then found out after my daughter had graduated from high school that he was also a comic book fan and a fan of the movies and everything else. So we've been watching and talking about Peacemaker, whenever we talk. So, and I haven't caught up. I think I might be one episode back, so I need to catch up. But on the one where the butterflies, come down from space in their little spaceships, right? So the tall sheriff, okay, I already thought he was already possessed by a butterfly, but then he was attacked by another butterfly. I walked away from that a little confused. Okay. So, yeah, well, dude, that's 2 episodes back. If you're 2 episodes back, that's a problem.
There's people who haven't even seen Loki yet, right?
Well, I'm talking about it. All right. So again, if you're 2 episodes back, it's too late. All right. So my buddy wanted me. He knows I do the live stream. So I'm just curious. Was anybody else confused by that?
Yeah.
Thank you, Amy, and I agree. So I was like, wait, whoa, what's going on here? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, he was a secret agent employed by Myrn. If you know that actor, that's sort of his thing. I've seen that actor in a ton of work, and he sort of has that off-putting sort of demeanor. He was in Hell on Wheels. He's been in a bunch of sort of genre work the last 10, 12 years. His name might be Christopher something. I'm not 100% sure.
All right.
But he has a little bit of a sort of off-putting delivery, and I think that's intentional.
All right, so Mikey G, thanks for joining us, by the way.
Nice.
All right, so I want to take a viewer poll, okay? Put in the chat 1 if you believe the sheriff was already possessed by a butterfly and the new butterfly switched it out, or 2 if you believe, as John I think believes, that he was not possessed and it was just the way that the actor acts. That's how he comes across, which I've seen.
Say we look like 2 women?
I'm confused about this show's thumbnail. Looks like 2 women. I'm not sure.
Ronald, you're kind of right.
We're not on the thumbnail for some reason. Like, it's a different thing. But
yeah, no, that's the thumbnail is Alec. Actually, they use it for both shows.
They don't use it for this show, but yeah, there's not one with me for some reason, but I don't know why. I'm not taking it personal. But and also
I'll be very straightforward. Alec is a Philadelphia Eagles fan, and Robbie, you're a Dallas Cowboys fan.
And
so that explanation was one of the easier ones.
I'm a Team USA fan, Rex. Come on.
I am sitting right here.
What are you talking about? No, it doesn't. It says Rex and John.
The graphic, it comes up all the time.
I don't control that. You have to write an email to Kyle about that. I don't control that. All right, so
that's not me. I need to get on.
But yeah, I don't hold it against y'all. Plus, I haven't seen any of Peacemaker, so thanks for the spoilers, buddy.
Dude, Boba Fett. Have you watched that yet?
No, but that's all been spoiled.
Mandalorian yet?
I've seen The Mandalorian.
Yeah, right? You haven't watched The Mandalorian. What are we going to talk about? It's just going to be silence during the show.
I've watched The Mandalorian. I just haven't watched Boba Fett. But, I'm at the end of this James Bond journey because we're doing the show on Friday.
Oh, so. God, this has been going on for months with the James Bond.
There's a lot of stuff for James Bond. It's movies, it's comics.
So,
okay, guys, hold on for a second. I don't want to surprise you with this, but hold on.
Uh-oh. JD working on the fly. Talk about anything, man. We'll talk about anything.
Nice.
So then I wanted to circle back. All right, so Ron says, remember Mern asked why Amanda Waller was sending in Hammer to assist his team. Yeah. All right, so essentially what I'm gathering was he was not already possessed by a butterfly.
No, I think he was just an operative. You see these people in the DC universe all the time.
I will enjoy
whatever.
relaying this to my friend because my friend was convinced. No, what are you kidding me? He was possessed by a butterfly. It just got exchanged. It's obvious. And I'm like, no, it's not obvious.
People knew Mern was an intelligence operative. They didn't know he was a butterfly.
There's a butterfly assassin in this show. Is that what? There's a butterfly assassin in this show. Is that what you're saying?
Dude, you gotta watch it. You have to watch. You gotta catch up, bro. Okay, come on, man.
Hey, I got 2 more Bond movies.
Tell me you're on the last James Bond movie, right?
I got 2 more. I'm gonna rewatch Spectre.
2 more.
I'm afraid to tell him who Luke's father is in Star Wars. I don't know how far behind the man is. I don't want to ruin anything.
You know, Luke's dad was Darth Vader, right?
Yeah. Okay. I may be 4 months behind, but I'm not 40 years behind. Come on.
So Lars Man says his after credit speech was insane.
Who's Luke? No, right. Nick hasn't gotten out in a while.
Episode 1 through 3.
So, all right. So Stevie B says he thought it was.
There is no episode 7 to 9.
It doesn't exist.
So wait, Stevie B says he already possessed. I thought that actor was great in the series Hell on Wheels.
Yeah, playing the Swede.
Yes,
that's what I was talking about.
I've seen him, and he's one of those character actors you see in all these movies. But I thought he was, and then that happened, and I thought he wasn't.
Jack the Ripper in a sci-fi show called Sanctuary.
Dwayne's a pain.
He did an amazing job.
Wait a minute, Dwayne's a pain.
Oh no!
I think he has a message for you,
Robbie.
Robbie. Bruce Willis was dead the whole time in The Sixth Sense.
Oh man.
Crying Game? She's a dude.
All right. Let's not all pick on the Dallas Cowboy fan.
Don't make me spoil Ace Ventura for you guys. Come on.
Oh my gosh, too much
Robbie
fun.
just pulls the plug. Good night.
I got James Bond movies to screen. All right, so let's see. And then there was another topic I want to touch on.
Do we have Bond stuff up here? Because we have Bond coming out Wednesday.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah, you have that Virgin. You have that Francesco Francavilla one.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
All right, so let me go through. All right, you know what? Let's throw another book out. So this one, I think it was also cover motivated. Avengers Assembly
is a tiny little gun. It's not Men in Black.
This show's getting more and more interesting the more I don't watch it.
By the second. Avengers Assemble #9, signed by Kelly Sue DeConnick. It suggests a retail of $89.99, signed in gold. And we have it tonight for an introductory price of $29.99, and we have one available at that price. And keep in mind, Kelly Sue DeConnick, it's a hard signature to get because she's writing fewer comics and actually working more in Hollywood. Writing screenplays and such. So, I don't want to say that she's exited the comic world, but definitely has been putting her writing skills to
both her and her husband. I don't know if they're still together, but they both sort of, Matt Fraction, they both sort of moved to screenwriting, script writing, whatever. And I'm not saying that they're not doing comics, but yeah, when people sort of make that move, I would imagine, and of course I don't know for certain, but I would imagine if they're going to proceed with Captain Marvel movies, I would not want to proceed without Kelly Sue DeConnick in some producing script writing capacity, because she essentially gave Carol Danvers a personality which had not connected with the larger audience before.
Right.
She took over that book, and the next thing you know, Carol Danvers, let's be honest, Carol Danvers started as like a women's lib character, very two-dimensional, one-dimensional. You stretch all the way through. They never know what to do with her. She's with the Avengers, the X-Men. She has powers, no powers. She's binary. She's Warbird. She's all over the place. Kelly Sue DeConnick jumps in, and she's Captain Marvel. There's no sort of...
John Spilios is claiming Avengers Assemble, so that is gone. I got you, John.
No, he is not, Ronald. Although that was 35 years ago. So
that was a long time ago, Ron. He doesn't look too bad for all that time, man. That was a really... When did
Robert Patrick... Right, Robert Patrick.
Yeah,
Robert Patrick. We're at least 30 years ago because Terminator 2.
I'm gonna look it up. Terminator 2.
It's like 91 or 92.
Yeah, I bet we're talking 30 years.
Yeah. His brother is
1991.
His brother is Richard
Wow.
Patrick, the lead singer of Filter, if nobody knows that. So
there we go. See that?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Did you know the new Robbie segment? Did you know? Wow.
So, all right. So the other topic I wanted to touch on was something that Robbie and I were talking about on his Friday show. All right. And that was something that Dave Cerrone's not here. He brought it up. It was the topic of Joelle Jones and what's happened with the cover and the accusations of swiping, and it was a pretty interesting conversation that Robbie and I were having, and we just kind of ran out of time, I think. And all the things that kind of touched on. For those that are not familiar, there's been a recent controversy. Somebody in Sweden or Finland or whatever caught this, and there have been rumors about Joelle Jones and swiping and so on and so forth. And Robbie and I were kind of discussing kind of the implications of that. And I thought that it opened up a lot of different questions, again, going back to work for hire type of situations, because you also brought up, who was it that had their art changed?
Kirby, for instance, had his art changed all the time when he was doing Superman.
Right, but
Jimmy Olsen
somebody
movies.
recently that you brought up in the conversation.
Greg Smallwood.
That's right. So Smallwood had his art changed. It was, there were a couple of topics that we kind of touched on, which I thought was interesting. So if the viewers have an opinion or a thought on that, I'd be interested to hear. I think Robbie would and John would as well. So,
for sure.
Stevie B, love Patrick's one dance move in the opening sequence.
The opening sequence.
I like the opening sequence when they do all that goofy dancing. That actually was well thought out. But, as for, changing the art of Smallwood, which was a controversial topic that we were talking about, I think that goes back, I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying that ethically they shouldn't have contacted him, allowed him a chance to make the changes. But I think it falls back onto conversation we had weeks ago about, the heirs of creators, that are now trying to withdraw the copyright. And of course, Marvel is fighting and filing suits to prevent them from doing that. Is that, that's kind of the problem, is when you sign that contract, all of a sudden that artwork that you create belongs to the publisher. And if they choose to change it with or without you, they unfortunately have that right to do so. Doesn't make it right, but it is certainly the reality of the situation. And that's kind of unfortunate. And then with Joelle Jones, you and I discussed that as well. Swiping is a very commonplace thing in the comic book industry, and it always has been. I think that it's something that social media and technology has changed, because now as Marcus said,
is right. Lots of artists swipe. Real quick, I'm going to jump in here on the swiping thing. One of the first people that really kind of, made me step back, a con 1989 or 90, I meet Doug Wildy. Some people might not know who Doug Wildy is. Premier American cartoonist, most responsible, according to Hanna-Barbera, for the look of Johnny Quest.
Okay.
Had a certain style. He created something called Rio, which is a premier Western. It was a strip. They made it into a graphic novel. He was older at the time. I think it was maybe 4 or 5 years before Wildy passed. And somebody asked him in the crowd. Crowds were a lot smaller then. You could actually raise your hand and ask a question. Somebody asked him about the downside of being a cartoonist. And he said, people who can't draw, changing your artwork. Now, I believe this is probably 88 or 89, he said this. Wildy did Johnny Quest in the 60s, and he also had work published in the 50s. So this is exactly how far back this has been going, where publishers feel it's okay, editors feel it's okay to change an artist's work, in some cases, even if they can't draw. This is like if I'm cooking and someone who can't cook tries to tell me how to make a dish. I understand where artists are like, hold on a second. I mean, the way that the contracts are written, that's like a separate issue. But the idea that you hired someone and they're an acknowledged professional in their field, and then you're trying to get them, and it's one thing to say, hey, look, there's a mistake. The Green Hornet logo is inverted here. Can you change it? That's fine. But artists, as long as I've been going to cons, I've been talking about this. Somehow what they put on the paper and send is not what is published. And I think anyone, whether you're a creator, whether you buy the comics, whether you publish the comics, you know what I mean? There's a certain, well, wait a minute. I'm paying this guy, presumably this creator, because I like his or her work.
Right.
Why are you changing it then? I mean, if it's a legal issue, like, oh, hey, we can't use this legal logo or whatever, okay, fine, I get that. But there are times where they just flat out change artists' work. And I'm like, that takes a lot of nerve. You know
I agree. I agree with what you're saying. I mean, but nerve and what's legal becomes, your gray area there.
Oh, it's absolutely legal. To be clear, I'm not questioning legality of it,
right,
because when the contract is signed, it's work for hire, and
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's get to the next book. Guardians of the Galaxy #8, Encore Edition, signed by Donnie Cates. Suggested retail of $49.99, and we have one available tonight for $29.99.
The famous Rocket Gets a Gundam cover.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a great sort of that's a great sort of take on that. I almost wish that would have lasted a little longer.
So I just had Guardians of the Galaxy on the brain, and you got Rocket over
That's
there.
That's a great cover, man.
I got to get dressed. Yeah, this show I picked predominantly based on what the cover was screaming at me.
Yeah, that's a great
so
cover.
that is available tonight. $29.99. Buy it now. We have one available. Let's see.
On the swiping thing. The only thing I'll say is make your swiping less obvious. Right. I mean, that would be the biggest thing.
There's always that. Yeah.
Is that this instance involves something that just came out a handful of months ago that sold very well. So if you want your swiping to be obvious, put an after and then credit the artist and it's an homage, and then you're fine. So,
and Joel in the house, what's going on, buddy? We'll do a recap in a couple minutes, but I think I brought up an example on your show. Is I agree with what you're saying, but she may take some heat for it, but what's the difference? If you're swiping something recent, you're swiping something that's 40 years old. In a sense, if it's okay to swipe something that's 40 years old, and if it's accepted common practice, then it really doesn't make a difference if it's recent.
I'm not saying that it makes a difference as far as the act of passing off
right.
someone else's work as your own.
Though, when you sort of,
So Ron says, go ahead. Finish your thought, Robbie.
Well, I was just going to say that it's different when you're passing it off as your own or when you're trying to homage something. And so maybe it's not any different than swiping a 40-year-old piece of work as it is a 6-year-old piece of work, but you're just going to make more problems for yourself because it's going to be easier to pick apart. I mean, I'm sure there are tons of random poses that have been pulled that nobody ever notices, but you picked a big image. It's like if you were aping on Jim Lee's X-Men #1 cover 6 months after the fact, people are going to notice that. So
that's a great comment.
So we Rubenstein,
the third artist.
Yeah, how funny would that be? How in a less popular
I've
book,
heard that story before.
That'd be hilarious.
I've heard that story before where someone says, hey, I swiped this from you, just so you know. He's like, well, I swiped it from this guy. Right. And it goes back. It's a tradition. I think it's Wallace Wood who said, don't draw something that you can steal.
So, all right. So I do want to mention to everybody that may have arrived late. Basically, we're having 2 giveaways at the end of the evening. So the one giveaway will be anybody that contributed to the chat on Robbie's channel on Robbie's show on Friday. And that will be the 4-coin Vampirella set, which we left up there. And then anybody that contributed in the chat tonight will be up to win was it Red Sonja #25 that we did? I think so, yeah. Red Sonja #25, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle homage.
Vampirella.
Ironically enough. And it is also a metal cover. So our new line of metal covers, and I think you may have mentioned this or somebody mentioned this.
Very cool, man.
These are not foil
right?
covers. Yeah, they are not foil covers. They are actually aluminum metal. It's hard. It's a stiff piece of metal that you cannot bend. Actually, when we ship them out to distributors, we actually put a label on it, just like coffee's hot. edges are sharp.
Do we have any more metal books tonight, John?
Let's see.
And it's a Vampirella 25 that's the giveaway, right?
Oh, is it Vampirella 25 or Red Sonja 25?
I'm not sure.
I think it's Vampirella.
I'll get back up.
John's going to get back up and check it out.
Rex, if I could jump in real quick for just a second, if I could get
Chat.
everybody in the chat who wants to be entered for that giveaway, if they could type in the hashtag IHeartDF, hashtag IHeartDF into the chat, and that will enter them into the role I can do automatically at the end of the show.
Okay, if you don't mind throwing that up on the chat for the viewers as well, that'd be awesome.
Post in with all 6 of my YouTube accounts.
Let's see.
Right.
All right. So any more metal books? Yes. Actually, we have Nick's. All right. So that's a simple one. That's if you watch Robbie's show on Friday. When I was on Robbie's show, we're gonna do a quick drawing on that, and then we'll do the drawing for the metal covers. All right. So tonight we also have, let's see, Nick's #1 Rose Besh Dynamite metal premium cover. Okay, so is that the Vampirella 25? That's the giveaway, Vampirella 25, not Red Sonja. I stand corrected. I apologize. All right, so the Nick's #1 Rose Besh Dynamite metal premium cover, and we have one available. Actually, we might have more than one. And as soon as JD gets a chance, we'll throw that up. Let me see.
I apologize. I was on the other screen. What did you want me to throw up?
The Nick's #1 Rose Besh Dynamite metal premium cover.
Yes.
And give us 1 second there. And we have that available tonight. And it is, let's see, it is a virgin cover. So, Amy, can you confirm the price on the virgin cover for us? Nick's #1 and Vampirella #25. So these are available tonight as well. And while we're waiting for that, let's see. Ooh,
that Nick's cover is great. That would really, I bet that really pops on that metal.
It does. And it almost has like the ultraviolet effect. We had like one other ultraviolet cover. This thing is very
This is why I asked the question. I said in the email, if they're not virgin covers, we could do them for $60. If they're virgin covers, let me know. You saying they're virgin covers?
They are virgin covers.
You know what? Because we love our fans tonight, we'll do them for $60, even though they're $200 books.
All right, so we're gonna do them for $60. So Nick's #1 Rose Besh Dynamite metal premium cover.
John claims Nick's. You got that?
John. Yes, John, I got you, buddy. All right, and then we have
Vampirella.
And Dwayne's a pain. I got you, buddy. All right, we got you down for both. John's got the Knicks, and Dwayne's a pain's got Vampirella. So we got you down for that, buddy. So what? There was another question. Let's see.
Is it break time?
Is it break time? Oh, yes, it is.
We should take our final break.
Let's take our final break, and then we'll be back. And I think we got a handful of books to go through, and then it'll be time for the contest. And we'll do a preview. We'll do a recap as well.
To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure. A promise of excitement. A promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey. And behind every page there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop today. Visit comicshoplocator.com today. Imagine being at a convention and going to an interview panel that's just for you. No bustling crowds, no hours-long lines, just you, the moderator, and your favorite comic book creators. Well, this is pretty much that. Miss Jen sits down every week with 2 comic book creators for a live stream interview about their latest work, and you can ask them whatever you want. It's Talking Shop, Mondays at 5 Eastern on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
And we're back.
We're back again.
All right. So Laura's man has requested a slab. So let's do a slab. So we have Amazing Spider-Man number 49, Legacy 850, Chris Bacalo variant, CGC graded, guaranteed 9.6. Suggested retail of $99.99. We have one available for $62 for 1962, the year that Spider-Man first appeared.
I love that goblin on that cover. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's ooh.
That is a very cool cover. I don't think we've done this variant before, the Bacalo variant. I don't think so.
I don't think we've had this before.
Yeah, I don't believe we have either.
I remember reading Generation X for the first time and seeing his art for the first time and being like, holy smokes. That stuff blew my mind. At like, not to make you guys feel old, but at like 12, 13 years old, it just blew my mind.
That's okay. You've only done it about 4 or 5 times this show as opposed to usual. So you're actually doing better. Getting that average down, brother.
Well,
all right.
Keep spoiling all the butterfly ninjas and Peacemaker and see what happens.
I'm telling you, dude. Yeah, tiny little guns and tiny little katanas. You know, you should watch the show, bro.
He's got little throwing stars.
Butterflies are tough, bro. They are tough. So let's see here. Okay. What should we do next? You know what? Let's knock out all the slab books here. So then we have Punchline number 1, rare Kyle Nagu, limited edition variant, CGC graded 9.8, guaranteed 9.8, $89.99. We have it as one of our 5-star $50 books. Let's see. And then we have one more slab that we'll get to as soon as JD gets a chance to throw that up. Cute Butterfly Spaceship.
Man, you're really selling me on this show.
Dude, you got to watch it, man. You got to watch it.
Like I said, Bond's almost over. I got 2 more movies, so.
Oh, my gosh.
By the time he finishes the last 2, the next
we'll be watching movies on James Bond's grandson.
Robert Pattinson is now James Bond.
No,
I'm sorry, guys. I seem to be having trouble getting that picture up. I don't know what's going on here.
Oh, okay. You know what? Let's see. Which one did we do the Punchline or the Amazing Spider-Man? Are you having problems with, JD?
The Punchline.
The Punchline. All right.
Okay, oh, wait. Here it comes. Now.
Cool. Never mind.
There we go.
Oh, nice cover.
Yeah, I was completely cover driven this show. I don't know why. Just whatever cover grabbed me, I grabbed it.
That shows you the importance of a comic book cover.
Really quickly. I just happened to notice this question. We talked about this a little bit earlier. Draculina Thumbelina. I would say we've talked about this before, and again, just because I'm sitting at Dynamite Global HQ doesn't mean I'm looking at what's on the boards or whatever. But I would think the lateral expansion of Vampirella's universe, you will eventually, for sure, you'll see Draculina probably at some point interact with some of these other characters, because nobody introduces a character in 2022 in a vacuum. We are now 3 to 4 years deep into the multiversing of comics.
Right.
And, everybody. They're talking about Image is going to be the next person to get into it. I mean, how many versions of Spawn do we have? Eventually, you will see a significant number of characters with multiple versions, gender swaps, age swaps, whatever. You know what I mean? Aliens being human, humans being alien. I would absolutely look forward to Draculina. I mean, keep an eye out for Draculina crossing over with, someone else in that universe. I mean,
Well, y'all have so many amazing, talented creators working over at Dynamite too, right? Working for Dynamite, and like
very fortunate. Nick says
one of my favorites has always been Priest, like Quantum and Woody, Black Panther. So I like the Draculina, and I got the trade paperback of his first run on Vampirella, like the first trade.
Oh, the Masterworks or whatever it was,
or the first one by Priest, Seduction of the Innocent, I think, with Alex Ross.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
I've been reading through that, loving it. So I really am a fan of his writing. So letting him just have free reign over Vampirella is like just a fantastic idea.
He is a super heavyweight creator. You add him to Tom Snagowski and Nancy Collins.
Right.
I mean, in just the last 10, 12 years, there have been some serious heavyweight creators on this character.
Because these are characters with legacy that people have grown up with or grew to appreciate or want to put their spin on, and really great stuff.
All right, so I'm going to do a recap of just best offers because we're approaching the deadline here. All right, so we had Secret Wars #1, Dynamic Forces Edition, signed by original and classic artist Mike Zeck. It is a best offer book of the night. Stevie B is currently in the lead at $15.
Is it nice?
So yeah, I love that cover.
Well, you really did pick some.
It was very visual, this show.
See what happens when you don't worry about Batman? The show is good. People are.
There's always time to take a shot at Batman for John. And speak of the devil, Batman 3 Jokers #1, premium cover A, Red Hood variant signed by Jeff Johns. Another best offer book. Lars Man is currently in the lead at $10. All right, let me see. And then we had Jennifer Blood #3, sold out, limited edition, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle homage incentive variant cover signed by Ken Hazer. And currently JD Berry is in the lead at $5, and he's going to walk away with a steal on that one.
Yeah, there's a couple people tonight that are going to walk away, and they really should be doing the happy walk of shame, because they're going to pick up some very cool stuff.
So then we had Women of Dynamite, Deja Thoris, J. Scott Campbell inspired diorama bronze edition, suggested retail of $29.99, $299.99. It is one of our best offer books, and Dwayne Zapane is currently in the lead at $110.
And I've said it before, if I was at a show or a con and I walked up and the dealer said, "Hey, this is $300, do you want it?" Yeah, it wouldn't even be, there wouldn't be any negotiation. I'd just give the guys money and take it and go and draw it back to my room.
All right, so you know what? Let's do a Spider-Man book. All right, so we have Amazing Spider-Man #36, signed by Nick Spencer. Suggested retail of $69.99, and we've got one available tonight for $36. So that is also available tonight. There it is. Look, see?
Man.
All cover driven, man.
And I also just got a message when I was mentioning Vampirella's creators. How could you forget Grant Morrison? I'm not going to sit here and run through the list of, I would suggest anybody that's curious, just Google Vampirella and see the creators. But yeah, Grant Morrison as well.
Okay, so Lars Man is
talent.
claiming the ASM. Gotcha, buddy. It's yours. So Amazing Spider-Man #36 is gone.
Yeah, I got the Grant Morrison Vampirella trade too with Mark Miller, and I just haven't dived into it yet. But that was one of the first.
I feel bad. I forgot it, but it's hard. I mean, this is a character celebrating her 50th year,
right?
And there have been character. I mean, there are people that would probably ask about the original creative team,
right?
Like I have friends that love Vampirella and they collect the Dynamite books. They are still stuck in nothing is as good as that sort of Warren 1970s era. And I get it. I do. I mean, I have a lot of love for that, the magazine format. I can understand where people who've been Vampirella fans for decades have trouble You know what I mean? Like
Right.
like opening up to it. But more than any of the other books we do here at Dynamite, Vampirella has the most sort of depth in terms of creators, like what they've done, directions.
Well, that would kind of make sense too. I mean, Dynamite's been doing Vampirella for a really long time. So
I mean, and we've talked about it. Creators have gone in different directions. You know what I mean? We've had Vampirella be almost Elvira-esque in her sharp wit,
right?
And then we've had sort of the other direction of Scarlet Legion, where she's like more violent and casual than Deadpool.
Right.
In terms of, you just got to die. I'm sorry, I got stuff to do, so you got to go. The character has proven that she works well with others, works well by herself. I tell anytime anyone's like, well, I don't know if Vampirella works well with other characters. Sure, she's worked with Red Sonja. Go find a trade paperback Aliens Vampirella, and to see how Vampirella steps right outside the sort of comic Dynamite thing and moves into like a cinematic world.
Right.
And there's not much that anyone. What complaint would I have Vampirella? More of them, please.
All right. So to remind everybody, the best offer of the night claims will end in about 10 minutes. Remember, there's a little bit of a lag time, so keep that in mind. And just to go over real quick what those best offer books are. So Star Wars number
Hey,
one.
Ron, thanks for joining us, bud.
See you, Ron. Thanks, buddy. So Secret Wars number one, Dynamic Forces edition, signed by original and classic artist Mike Zeck.
You think he's being chased by a taser away from the computer right now?
No, I think she's got her steel-toed boots and she's trying to kick him. So that we have Stevie B in the lead at 15. That's Secret Wars number one. That's a great cover. Then we had Batman 3 Jokers number one. Cover A, Red Hood variant, signed by Jeff Johns. Lars Man is currently in the lead at 10. Then we had Jennifer Blood number 3, sold out limited edition TMNT, homage incentive variant cover signed by Ken Hazer. JD Berry is in the lead at 5. And then Women of Dynamite, Deja Thor's, J. Scott Campbell inspired diorama bronze edition. And currently Dwayne Zapane is in the lead at 110. So those are all the best offer books of the night. And I'm going to throw, let's see.
That's nice. At 110, he's going to get this thing for like 60-something% off. I mean, that's nice to get a piece like this at that price. We have a few other books too that people are picking up for, criminally low prices. But you know what? We really appreciate everybody joining us. It makes the show. Without us, it's just us bothering Robbie for stuff. I would suggest everyone like, subscribe, share if you enjoy the show. The more people we have, the better it gets. Hit the notification bell so you know when we kind of, this train leaves the station.
Usually, we rarely miss a day. Mondays and Wednesdays from 6 to 8 Eastern time on the Experience. Then I'm on with Robbie on his show on Friday evenings on Pop Culture Philosophers. And then Tuesdays, I talk with Alec at 4 on his channel, and that's AR_comics. And all right, so just to remind everybody, we have 2 giveaways. This one is the Rockin' Robbie contest. If you were part of Robbie's show on Friday and you contributed to the chat boards, this is the item that we're giving away. And Robbie, with 748, you want to spin your Robbie's round wheel of ridiculousness?
Yes, let's do that. And let's call that that tonight. And so this was the video in which we talked about swiping art and changing artists. And I'm hitting the randomizer. Ooh, the winning comment is swiping may be a professional necessity, but that doesn't always make it less disappointing for the fan of an artist's work, in my view. And that's from Sleepy Reader 666. That's my good friend Damien from Portland, part of the Portland Comics crew. So Damien. Wednesday.
Nice.
All right. Congratulations, Damien. And you will.
Not only is it a winner,
that's a great comment.
That's a fairly accurate comment.
I agree.
There's a lot of substance.
He covers all the bases with that one. Robbie, you'll email me all the info so I can get the coin set sent out.
Yeah, I'll reach out to Damien, get his info, and send it to you, buddy.
Fantastic. Perfecto, my friend. All right. And I'm going to throw, let's see, how much time we have? 7:49.
Damien's part of that whole crew. Damien's part of that whole crew with Bueller and Bullseye Bob and all those.
Gotcha.
So that's really cool.
Okay. Yeah. No, that was a really good comment. So, all right, I'm going to throw two more books out there. We have Alien #1, Patrick Gleason variant, CGC graded, guaranteed 9.6, suggested retail of $89.99, and we have one available tonight for $79.
That's one of my favorite Alien covers I've ever seen.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, I just
That
went
is so
visual.
good.
I just totally went visual when picking out this show.
It
If I like the
absolutely
cover,
has
it went
the
up.
energy from the very first Alien
Yeah.
poster in 1979.
That was when I went back to school after seeing Alien. That's all the talk was, of course, the alien, the baby alien coming out of his stomach and everything else. All right, and the last book of the night, Detective Comics #1027, cover D, Stanley Art Germ Lau, Batman Batwoman variant silver signature series signed by John Romita Jr. Limited edition of 50, and this one's number 48 of 50. Suggested retail of $149.99. We have one available for $81 for the 81st anniversary.
I really like Art Germ's work. I think it's good, but I've never seen it as dynamic as this cover. This is amazing work from him.
It is amazing work. I mean, and I love his stuff, Stanley Art Germ. So it's great stuff. So if you're going to make any more best offers, realize that
We're under 5 minutes.
Yep, the clock is running down. And to remind everybody for the drawing, the Dynamite drawing tonight, as JD said, you have to put on the chat board iHeartDF, hashtag iHeartDF to be able to be entered into that. And John Spilios, gotcha, buddy.
Good
you
pickup.
are claiming the Detective Comics #1027.
And you know what? I've given everybody plenty of time. Can I make a claim?
You sure can.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I want to claim the Rainbow Bright by Ken Hill.
Nice.
All right. Rockin' Robbie is claiming the Rainbow Bright.
Right as we go off the air, I'm going to swipe the statue, so no worries. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. I'm not going to do it.
It's all right.
That's going to have a good home here, and it's going to have a good home here in the Huntsville Attic Studios for PCPs.
Well, John is not allowed to snipe anything.
No, I'll just go to the closet and get one when we're done. I would never do that to one of our viewers.
I've moved things around.
Like how many more of these do we got?
I keep moving things, so
when
John,
you're
it's
back,
never in the
you know
same
what?
place.
When you're back there, you got to find Punisher.
Give me a taco truck.
Oh, wait a minute. This isn't for me. I don't need to see Punisher. I think John wants to see
Oh, I'll take care of John. You give me a taco truck.
Spilio's been asking for Punisher for weeks.
I brought
find
something on last Wednesday. But we are really light on Punisher, believe it or not. I mean, I know I can bring on a
all
Punisher.
jokes aside, I know.
Yeah, I mean, I know I got a Punisher signed by John Romita Sr. But
I can send you a Punisher signed by Rockin' Robbie, if that will help. I can send you one.
I'll trade you for the Rainbow Bright.
You can get the CGC grading like I got.
Yeah. John said he wanted this cover. He wanted it CGC 9.9.
I wanted a CGC 9.9 book, and this is what Rex gave.
And I made it a CGC 9.9 for John.
I'm not sure quite how official that is, but
it'll be all right. Take it to a con.
I will tell
it'll
you
be
this
fun.
though. Absolutely grab a copy of this. Hell Sonia is very, very cool. And Gracie, the cosplayer, you can find her on different social media. Her cosplays are just killer. Hell Sonia has sort of become a thing, which made people, the eyes pop and the jaws drop.
I know Gracie, the cosplayer, now better than I did before because apparently she bakes some killer cupcakes. And I'm not even kidding.
She did a Cad Bane cake. And apparently one of the competition bakers from the Food Network was inspired by it. So he's doing a Cad Bane cake.
That sounds really cool.
She's sort of, she's transcending just being a cosplayer on social media.
And I got to tell you, there was a time when my daughter was younger and we were glued to Cake Boss. So I love watching them make, just some of the things that they make. And it's just phenomenal.
I used to watch Cake Boss, that one, and Cupcake Wars. I used to love Cupcake Wars. Oh my goodness.
I actually know someone that works at the factory in Hoboken, and not to take credit for anyone else's work, but I shot him the link to Gracie's Twitter feed. I'm like, you should see the cakes that this person does. And his response was, oh man, she lives on the West Coast. I wish she lived here. Most of the Cake Boss stuff is produced in Hoboken.
Yeah,
at
I know.
Lackawanna Center.
So let me ask you. So everybody knows less than a minute left on best offers of the night. So if there's something you're interested in,
Lars, man, everything Helsonia so far has just been absolutely.
So I got to ask John, because we are both local to this town where the office is. Both been here a long time. Have you, to this day, and as religiously as my daughter and I watch Cake Boss, have you been to the Carlos Bakery in town in Marlton?
Oh, yeah.
You know what? We have never been there, and here's why. When they first opened up, they were slammed.
Yeah.
And there were just lines. And I'm like, we'll wait. And the next thing you know, she graduates from high school, goes to college. We just never ended up there.
I've actually been to a couple Carlos Bakeries. I've been to the original Hoboken. A good friend of mine lives around the corner on Washington Avenue from them. And I got to go over, and by the time his show hit the air, 7 o'clock in the morning, there's already almost every day 50 people waiting to get in.
See, they have that cannoli day, and we always wanted to go on cannoli day, but it just never seemed to happen.
One of the hacks of, how that whole area where Carlos Bakery is super crowded, right?
Yeah.
The Starbucks there is mob scene.
I know.
You want a decent cup of coffee and you don't want to pay $13 for it from the Mermaid, I just stroll right over to Carlos Bakery and get a cup of coffee.
Oh, yeah.
They have great coffee.
Right.
They have their own branded coffee.
Yeah.
Dead Sled Coffee used to share the same roaster with them. Once they moved in, of course, they kind of took over the whole roastery because they had so much stuff to do. But
we love that show. I mean, I haven't watched it in years. Neither has my daughter, but it was always pretty cool to see.
Sonny Glass was a good guy. I've met him at
that was where I learned what fondant was.
Fondant was. I've met him a couple times. He's a typical good Jersey dude. You would meet him before. I met him at 2 shows, one in Belmar, New Jersey, down the shore, and one at Lackawanna Center.
Right.
And he's really authentic. He's, you know what I mean? He's very authentic, warm. There was a delay one day getting into the other show. He had a truck pull up with cannoli and hot chocolate because people were waiting outside in the cold and rain. Right. Just really, like a decent person. Does a lot with charities.
It was just always amazing the stuff they could make and turn into a cake.
Cake's moving, exploding. He's got one on a drone now. If you follow on Instagram, they put a cake on a big drone. So the whole thing was to walk the cakes in. Now the cake essentially flies itself in.
I mean, everybody was so excited when it opened locally. So it was crazy.
He's from Dover, New Jersey.
Dover, New Jersey. Where is Dover, New Jersey?
Well, Dover Township. You mean Dover in Ocean County, or do you mean, John? There's a couple Dovers in New Jersey, so I'm just trying to figure out.
We have too many towns in the state of New Jersey.
Dover Township is in Ocean County.
All right, so hold on, JD. We need to run. Our contest now. So let's go ahead and let's pick a winner. And John Spilios. I just look. Let's see. I just looked it up. There's one in Morris County, located on the Rockaway River, and then let's see. So are you in the Dover closer to New York or the one closer to us?
JD Berry. JD.
Congratulations, JD. You are the winner of the Vampy number 25 metal cover.
Nice.
JD Berry. Let me put that down.
Man, is this nice. Wow.
How close are y'all to Grover's Mill? Because that's where the Martians landed back in the early 1900s.
Congratulations, JD.
How close are we to Grover's Mill?
Well, isn't Grover's Mill outside the Lakehurst Naval Base? So
then we're actually very close.
Yeah,
we're about an hour.
We're less than an hour away.
Yeah, Lakehurst. I'll never forget. I used to work
at where the Kubert School is in Morris County.
Oh, okay. So you're up north.
So we're maybe an hour and 20 away, I would say. Hour and 30.
Probably
maybe?
A little bit more than that.
Maybe
Given North Jersey. Yeah, given North Jersey.
I'm a bad judge because I get the big tall Wawa coffee.
Well, my daughter went to Rampo College in New Jersey up in Mawa, so I was making that drive to watch games all the time, dude.
I was going to say, I know it's a 24-ounce coffee away. That's how I judge distance. How big the Wawa coffee is. It's a 12, 16. It's at least a 24-ounce coffee.
Too funny. So, quick story about Lakehurst. So I used to work in Lakewood, so I used to make that commute from this area, right?
Oh.
And the Lakehurst Police Department, nothing has happened in Lakehurst since the Hindenburg crash. On their police cruisers, there's a big there used to be, I don't know anymore, but there used to be a big Zeppelin on the side of the police cruisers.
That's what it was.
And I'd be wow, that's all these years, and that's all that's happened is the Hindenburg crash.
Oh my goodness.
It's true.
It is true. So Lakehurst is a quick pass to Lakewood as you're headed towards the shore and Toms River, that area. So New Jersey, we have way too many towns, bro. Trust me. too dense. But once again, thank you to our viewers for joining us tonight.
Yeah, we're just about done.
Yep, we really
Congratulations
appreciate
to
it.
the winners.
Robbie, are you doing your movie review tonight?
No, we're taking it off for Valentine's Day, but
All
next
right.
week,
There you
Weird
go.
Science. Weird Science
All
for
right.
next week.
Weird Science. Love that movie.
Nice, I love that movie.
I believe, JD, correct me if I'm wrong, Mishmash after this, if I am correct.
That is correct.
All
Yeah, we
right.
get
So, stay on the channel. Jen King will be up for the next.
John, we love you guys. We
We
love
love you
guys.
too,
Thank
John.
you so much.
She'll be here with another episode of Mishmash. We will be back Wednesday, 6 to 8 on the
Do
Experience.
you live in Fort Dix? I used to do.
Oh my gosh!
I used to do catering at the family center there.
Fort Dix. That's close to
Yeah.
where I used to. I do
Worked
my
at Lakehurst.
turnpike cheat
You
where I
used to
get
do
off.
balloon hangers.
Yeah, that's 7. That's it's exit 7. I used to take. That's the closest point. I would refuse
They
to
used
give
to
New
have a
Jersey.
USO annex or something out there, and they used to get caterers to go, and we would feed families from.
JD, before we check out, if you don't mind putting the link for the submission form as well, I think Dwayne Zapane's looking for it.
Oh yeah. So
If you don't get it, you can always email me, Dwayne Zapane, rex.wang@dynamite.com. But JD, no kidding, Fort Dix. It's so funny. I pass it all the time because I would
show's
cheat the
now
turnpike.
open.
Yeah, I would cheat the turnpike. That's the closest point to get onto the turnpike going north and south.
check out Robbie's show.
Yeah, check out Robbie's
Check
show.
out Robbie's show.
Always a pleasure,
You
gentlemen.
love always having you join us. Thank you for
Thank you,
the 2
everyone,
hours
as
goes
always.
super fast.
Our regular viewers, any new viewers that were watching tonight, definitely
We
if
come
you're a
back
new
on
viewer,
Wednesday. I'll
we'll be
have a
back on
little
Wednesday.
cereal hat.
bring me a pizza or something that you make, man. Stop putting it up on your Instagram, man. It's just mean. Anyway, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you, Rockin' Robbie. Thank you, JD, for taking care of behind the scenes.
Everyone, Robbie's channel is very good. John.
You are absolutely right, John Spilios. Thank you to my friend John here. And we'll see you guys on Wednesday.